accused were sacked, as our Home Affairs correspondent June Kelly reports.
Wayne Couzens, the police officer who kidnapped, raped and murdered Sarah Everard. David Carrick, like Couzens, a firearms officer with the Metropolitan Force and a serial rapist. Their crimes have shone a spotlight on the issue of officers suspected and accused of violence against women and girls, and how they're dealt with. This woman's former partner is a firearms officer with the West Yorkshire Force. Alice, and this is not her real name to protect her identity, says he subjected her to sexual violence and emotional abuse.
I think it's scary, the fact that he's had little control of himself and then being able to go to work and get a loaded gun out and be actually walking the streets.
Because clearly you think he should not be a serving police officer.
I think he's a very dangerous individual.
Alice says she made a series of complaints about her ex-partner to West Yorkshire Police, but she says no action was taken. After the BBC asked the Force for a response, he was suspended. The Force says it's referred its conduct in Alice's case to the police watchdog, and it's stressed its commitment to tackling violence against women and girls. When it comes to complaints, today's report by police chiefs shows that over a 6-month period, more than 1,500 officers and staff were accused of violence against women and girls. Just 13 people were or would have been sacked. And where cases were finalised, 91% of complaints resulted in no further action.
We're looking at everything from perhaps use of force when a woman is arrested, through to rape, domestic abuse, something much more serious. So in a 6-month period, it's often easier to wrap up an investigation and understand the outcome of it is. Where something is very serious, it takes a lot longer to investigate.
Police chiefs say forces have to do more to tackle all violence against women and girls.
It's basically PTSD.
In Barnsley, Deborah Jones has set up a support group, Resolute, to help women who've suffered domestic abuse. All of the women at this meeting have to be anonymous for their own safety. They share their experiences of dealing with the police.
I found out in October who the officer was in charge of my investigation. I didn't get any more contact from her until January. She didn't respond to any of my messages. He assaulted me, tried to strangle me, and I was covered in bruises on my neck and my chest. The member of the public called the police, but the police didn't even take me back home.
How do you think you were trapped, as in terms of things being explained to you, what was happening?
The police officer that I had at first admitted to me that she weren't domestic violence trained, she were firearms. Second one, she were a lot better, but first in, it was just horrendous.
Their local force, South Yorkshire, says it's regularly listening to victims and delivering specialised training to growing numbers of officers and staff. June Kelly, BBC News.